Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen on the GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. I'll be doing 1080p, 1440p and 4K. To skip to none of those sections of the video, check the timestamps down in the description. So first of all, I'll show you 1080p on the G4560, and I'll be using the speedrun mode, since I can easily go back to the start of the game, fight the dragon very quickly, then just run around in more open areas. Then I switch to the i3 8100 and I show you once again 1080p max settings. After that, I switch to 1440p and I lower effects to medium in order to try and get over 50 frames per second. And finally at 4K, it was impossible to maintain constant over 50 frames per second. It had a lot of drops into the mid 30s even at lowest settings. So I just crank up the settings, trying to stay over 30 frames per second most of the time, and that'll be about it. Usually lowering the settings in this game didn't make a huge difference in performance. I mostly had trouble maintaining 60 frames per second even with the variable frame rate option. This game just seems to rely a ton on single-threaded performance on the CPU. Even on higher-end CPUs I had this issue. On the i5-8400 it was a slightly better experience. In the parts when I was into the low 50s, I was into the mid 50s, so it wasn't a huge improvement. Probably an overclockable quad-core i5 should be more than enough to maintain 60 frames per second. Again, high single-threaded performance, but usually the biggest performance hit on the GPU side are the effects. When there's a lot of effects on screen at the same time, it can be a big hit on the GPU, especially at higher resolutions like 4K. That's why I lowered the effects at 1440p as well. But again, unfortunately, lowering the settings is not a huge difference because it's a very old game. It was a PC port done years after the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions were first released, but it was still the same game. They didn't do any major optimizations, apparently. But in order to get better performance, I noticed that turning off the Steam overlay gave me a nice FPS boost. You can see a comparison with the Steam overlay on and off at the end of the video, but it was a boost of around 5 FPS, which made the game be, instead of 50 frames per second, 55. So yeah, if you want better performance, just get a CPU that has very high single-threaded performance, and that should do the job just fine. The game is still playable, don't get me wrong, but maintaining 60 frames per second is quite a challenge. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
That man, I'd wait. Why don't...
Before leaving, visit the store to make sure you've ample supply. To the encampment. This path should see us there.
Damn beast!
Peddler is back. Shall we lend a hand? Fight or flee? The choice is yours.
Fighter, eh?
away its support. Throw it off balance. Fire! It cannot move with one upon its leg. I'll grab its leg to draw a tire. Place its leg. Throw it off balance.
I'd wait. Why the...
Before leaving, visit the store to make sure you've ample supplies. To the encampment. This path should see us there. Goblin! Shall we lend a hand? Fire! Lend thy kick! Fire! Fighter, eh? We have triumphed. Throw it off balance! It cannot move with one upon its leg. It was a close scrape, that. Let us return to the encampment. I'll heal your wounds.
They have. Why don't?
Before leaving, visit the store to make sure you've ample supplies. To the encampment. This path should see us there.
Damn beast!
The peddler is outmatched. Shall we lend a hand?
Goblin! I grant you fire blade! Quite the fighter, eh? Goblin!
This road will have
Goblins hate fire! Cling to its leg! Throw it off balance! It cannot move with one upon its leg! I'll grab its leg before it's higher. 'Tis our chance! Attack its leg! The leg! Grab hold of the leg! It cannot move with one upon its leg! towards higher. The leg! Grab hold of the leg!
Was a close scrape, that.
Let us return to the encampment.
Leave it to me. This encampment serves as a fine bulwark against monsters. The road splits here. Let's be doubly sure of which will see us to our destination.
Tis safest on the roads. Endeavor to be ever calm in battle.